If you want to see how to iron with a Fastpress in more detail, this film now continues with the Fastpress instruction video, which also shows the new improved Fastpress and Power Steam models. Congratulations on choosing a Fastpress. You've purchased a product of the highest quality, which will give you many years of trouble-free service. To help you get the very best results, we have made this film to get you started on the road to easy ironing. Whether you have chosen the non-steam version or the steam version, the ironing technique is the same. With a little practice, your ironing time should be halved. Choose a table or work surface of a comfortable height. On polished surfaces, use a protective cover. Place the Fastpress on it, unlock the press and open, switch on power, and then select the temperature just as you would on an ordinary iron. If you have chosen the steam version, then you have a new advanced steam generator system that gives you continuous steam under pressure and enough steam on one tankful to last you for over an hour's ironing. To use the steam, carefully follow the filling instructions in the instruction book or at the end of this demonstration. Steam is only available when the boiler is up to temperature, indicated by the steam light showing green. To use the steam, close the press to within a few centimetres of the ironing board and press the steam button either side of the handle. The steam is under pressure and therefore sometimes difficult to see. Never place your hand under the steam outlets while pressing the steam button. It's a good idea to start with something simple, just to familiarise yourself with the press. The technique is fast and efficient, but here are the basics slowed down. For the best results, iron slightly damp, using the spray bottle provided. Then place the ironing on the board and close the press. The Fastpress does the work for you with a pressure 5 times the pressure of a hand iron. Always work by putting the laundry at the back of the press and bring it forward, ironing section by section until the garment is completed. Get used to moving your hands backwards and forwards to slide the ironing rather than up and down to avoid touching the heating shoe. Now let's have a look at a shirt. Start with the yoke either on the corner of the board or using the long pad. When you press a sleeve, make sure that the top of the sleeve follows the shape of the board. Then put the shirt to the back of the press, making sure that the collar is on the right-hand side, and leaving the sleeves you have ironed out of the way so they do not get creased. Bring the shirt towards you so that the row of buttons is at the front of the board, with the collar at the right. Ironing a shirt is then easy. You just iron it panel by panel, sliding it from place to place with both hands moving backwards and forwards, not up and down, to avoid touching the heating shoe. Where there is a shape or a pleat, make sure you iron up to the edge of the seam. The back of the shirt can usually be pressed in 2 or 3 movements depending on the size. Keep going until you reach the front opening, and then iron the tail if you want to, and press the collar flat as the last operation. Make sure that the collar only is on the board, and that you don't crease parts that you've already ironed. Blouses are easily pressed in the same way. Pressing trousers is a simple operation. You iron the top of the trousers around the top of the board, as you would on an ironing board. Where there are pleats or pockets, slip the small pad underneath to avoid pressure marks, or fan out the fabric. Then iron the inside of the leg over the side of the board, and finally finish off by ironing the leg either one half at a time or, in the case of smaller trousers, the whole leg at once. Fold the finished leg back onto the table and repeat the process. Jeans and casual trousers are treated in the same manner, but if you don't want a crease, simply press them flat. Hard fabrics like denim need dampening and will need a longer closing time. T-shirts and sports shirts are easily pressed flat on the board. Iron up to the underarm, then slide across to incorporate one sleeve. Repeat on the other side. Turn the collar back and use half pressure to press flat. If there are transfers or printing, make sure these are face down to avoid them getting stuck on the heating shoe. To press a sheet or tablecloth, fold it into 4 and fold it on the board, placing it to the back of the press, so that you can then bring it forward, ironing it a section at a time, and keep pressing section by section until you reach the end. You can usually press up to 4 layers of fabric at a time. For larger sheets and duvet covers, use the space under the board at the back for the folded sheet. Fitted sheets should be folded 4 corners together, then starting with the corners on the square-shaped end of the board, work from side to side. To fold for storage, use the board. Fold in the elasticated sides and corners and fold again. On knitted garments, the Fastpress gives a superb finish even on older garments. Reduce the temperature and only use hand or part pressure. On acrylic and wool mixtures, use manufacturer's recommendations as indicated on the garment care label and avoid steam or high temperatures. Excessively creased fabric should be sprayed, warmed by briefly closing the press, and then smoothed by hand, then pressed again for a perfect finish. Mini pressure is most useful when pressing special fabrics such as velvet, wool or silk. This is achieved by partially closing the press. Pleats may be secured with metal pins where necessary to keep them in place. Do not use plastic-headed pins. Spray, close press briefly, open, remove pins, and press again. Embroidery or applique should be placed face down. The foam padding on the board will ensure that you will get a superb finish. Elastic tops such as pyjamas or skirts should be held in place whilst the press is closed. Sleeves without creases are ironed using the long tailoring pad provided. Insert the pad inside the sleeve, or alternatively, place the sleeve on top and use only hand pressure. Ribbons, apron strings or edges of handkerchiefs can be ironed by rubbing on the edge of the heating shoe to flatten them and then press in the normal way. The small tailoring pad, as previously shown, may also be used for awkward-to-reach areas such as shoulder pads, dresses with no front opening, and children's clothes. Simply use the pad as a mitten, insert inside the garment, and rub against the heating shoe. When pressing jackets and suits, a pressing cloth may be necessary on dark materials to avoid shine. A clean cotton cloth is ideal. When you have finished ironing, make sure that the ironing board and foam underneath are completely dry by ironing it several times before leaving it open to cool. If you leave the press closed for more than 30 seconds, a bleeper will sound and the power will cut off. The same safety precaution applies if you leave the press open for more than 8 minutes. Fast presses are amazingly maintenance-free. However, you will get the best results for your clothes with regular replacements of the foam and the ironing board cover. The heating shoe should normally only need cleaning with a damp cloth, but for more extensive marks, use a heating shoe cleaning stick. These are available from most hardware stores or direct from us. The steam press is a new advanced system with a steam generator providing steam under pressure for more efficient ironing. It is therefore important to follow the golden rules when filling the press. Always unplug the press before filling. Only fill the boiler tank when both the press and boiler are cool. Only fill the press when it is locked closed and in the upright storage position. Remove the filler cap and fill with the funnel and water bottle provided until you get an overflow in the small tube in the funnel. Then remove the funnel, wipe away any excess water and refit the filler, ensuring it is fully tightened. The press is now ready to place in the ironing position and use. It is advisable to make sure the tank is full before you start ironing to avoid filling during ironing. This gives you approximately 1.5 hours ironing time. Should you need to refill, then turn off the press and allow to cool for at least 15 minutes. Then turn it back on to the steam setting and press the steam button to release any excess water. Lock the press and stand in the vertical storage position. Slowly remove the cap and refill as before. In hard water areas, it is essential to use distilled water or soft bottled drinking water. In soft water areas, it is best to use boiled water and occasionally flush out the water tank. Do not add any fabric softeners or perfumes to the water, and if the press is to be stored for long periods, it is advisable to drain the tank. Under no circumstances try to open the filler cap when the press is either hot or in the ironing position. Hopefully this film has helped you get started, but do still take time to read the instruction book. You will find most ironing on a fast press is simplicity itself, but it is worth learning the techniques we have shown you, particularly on the shirts, to get full benefit from your fast press. If you lose your contact details, visit our website on www.fastpress.co.uk. We are sure that your fast press will give you many years of service, and you will enjoy a more relaxed and efficient way of ironing. If you want to see how to iron with a fast press in more detail, this film now continues with the fast press instruction video, which also shows the new improved fast press and power steam models. Congratulations on choosing a fast press. You've purchased a product of the highest quality, which will give you many years of trouble-free service. To help you get the very best results, we have made this film to get you started on the road to easy ironing. Whether you have chosen the non-steam version or the steam version, the ironing technique is the same. With a little practice, your ironing time should be halved. Choose a table or work surface of a comfortable height. On polished surfaces, use a protective cover. Place the fast press on it, unlock the press and open, switch on power, and then select the temperature just as you would on an ordinary iron. If you have chosen the